guys, good morning. Welcome to Marketing Monday with Marcus with 3M Marketing and Acquisitions, where we'll kind of be going over all your marketing related questions that you've been sending in to us all week, asking, wanting to know more about. We'll kind of dive right in and answer all those questions today. So again, I am your host Marcus, here in my home office, where I'm guessing I will probably be for a couple of weeks, if not more. Just as that's kind of what we're doing right now. So we're gonna be, like I said, going over all of the marketing related questions that you have today, and trying to answer anything that you may have as well. Okay. Let me see if I can get it on here so I can share this out for all the other people that are home watching right now. Alright guys, and I think we are ready to jump in. So I'm going to pull up our first question, and let's get that answered for you, okay? Alright, so our first question says, should I capitalize on current events to advertise my business? I.e. holidays, elections, coronavirus, etc. I wouldn't say capitalize is exactly the word I would use. So no, I wouldn't say you should capitalize on current events to help market your business. But I think addressing those issues and being kind of forthwith and honest about it is important. Because if people know, hey, he's addressing exactly what's going on in the business and making me feel more comfortable about it, they'll feel more comfortable doing business with you. So, and I think over the last week or so, we've definitely seen examples of that, of business owners who have not been addressing those issues kind of head on or directly, and we're kind of seeing that backlash on them. So, approaching it the right way is important, but kind of sensationalizing it or, feeding into it, I wouldn't recommend. I think just kind of addressing it and then moving on is going to be the best thing to do with that, okay? All right. So let's see. So this one says, what's a good way to use my marketing for customer retention? So I'm guessing you're talking about as far as trying to get people to get back in touch with you. And obviously a big one that I like to use is social media. So a lot of times I'll tell people, hey, send me a DM or, shoot me an email or a text message. And those are usually the three easiest ways to get back in touch with people, because they're able to use them on the go. And that's the biggest thing, is people being able to, contact you whenever. So I would definitely stick with those kind of three to start out with. So if you're ever doing posting and stuff and you're like, hey, shoot me a DM, or if you're ever out and about and you're like, hey, shoot me an email, I think those are kind of the easiest ways to get in touch with you. And then obviously text message, I think so many of us use as well, that it has kind of segued into where people thought it wasn't professional before, but now it definitely can be. A lot of people like to text. So all right, so this next question says, with the COVID-19, what areas should I increase my marketing efforts? Okay, so area that you should increase your marketing efforts in, I would say definitely just overall in general increase your marketing. There's so many different ways. If you're in real estate watching this, there's so many different ways that you guys market, which is direct mail, bandit signs, cold calling, door knocking, on top of social media. So I think maybe if you have the time and you can do it, I would just maybe kind of scale up on all of those, kind of see what's been working for you in the past and really see areas of improvement that you can take too. If you are in a situation maybe where you either don't feel comfortable leaving your house or you can't for some reason, then obviously I would say the social media and cold calling side are going to be kind of two of your biggest ones that you want to really hit on the head, because you're able to do it obviously from home, follow up from home, and you're there at the comfort of your house and you don't have to leave. So if it was me in that situation, I think if I wanted to increase my marketing efforts right now and if I'm home, I would definitely focus on cold calling and social media. If I'm able to go out, door knocking, dropping some bandit signs, doing some direct mail, that may be another strategy that you can use, okay? All right, guys, so this says, if a client wants to meet in person, but I don't feel comfortable doing so, what can I do? Okay, so I'm guessing this is like a client for your business is wanting to meet, and obviously because of what's going on in the market right now, you're not feeling super comfortable meeting up with them. I think there's different ways that you can approach this. We actually talked about this on the webinar on Saturday that I did with Mike Watkins and Justin Shipp. And essentially, there's different things that you can do to still seem personalized without being in person. So one thing is doing video calls, okay? So instead of just talking over the phone, do a video call. That way they're able to see your face, you're able to see their face. It does create a little bit of a stronger connection because it's almost like a physical connection, which we as humans feed off of physical connection. So sometimes it is hard when you don't have that to be able to connect it deeply, but that video connection can kind of help reestablish that, okay? Also, a big thing that a lot of people like to do is video voicemails. So instead of leaving a traditional voicemail, shoot them a video, a 30 second to 1 minute video, just maybe saying, hey, sorry I missed your call, or hey, I was trying to get in touch with you about this. Again, that seems like a little more personal. They really feel a little bit of a deeper connection, so they don't feel so cut off. Because there are some people that truly do need that connection to be able to establish any kind of personal or business relationship. And if they don't have that, they're going to be a little wary. So I think kind of explaining, obviously, your concerns about what's going on now, and then kind of adding that in, I think will bring them a lot of value. And I think they'll respect you for that as well. So that was a good question, guys. Thank you. All right. So next it says, now that I'm home more, are there any good apps to use for my marketing? Okay, good question. So I have spent, I wouldn't say a lot of time, but I've definitely spent a good amount of time kind of researching and trying out different apps that I feel like would bring value to my business, okay? So if you're doing social media, obviously I would say Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. I mean, you have those main ones, correct? But if you're kind of wanting to deep dive in more and use other apps, so for me, I kind of have like a whole little, I don't know if you can see it, it's like a folder with all of my real estate apps that I use, okay? And so on my top page right now, I have the Anchor app, which I use for my podcast. I have Zoom, which I'm sure a lot of us are using right now, which is for video calling, webinars. It's really good for that. I have Trulia, Zillow. So for us that are not agents that are in the real estate field, and if you quickly ever wanted to look up something about a house, Trulia and Zillow are really good to use because you can simply go in, type in that address, and get, I'd say pretty much probably 70 to 80% of the same information that you would get on the FMLS, okay? It's not going to be as detailed, obviously, because it's typically for consumers to use, but it's kind of like a best bet option for those that can use it that don't have access that an agent would have, okay? I have my Google app, so I have Google Voice, I have my Google Drive app, Google My Business, which is really good. I don't know if a lot of people know about it. There's an app called Google My Business. which essentially lets you set up information about your business on Google on the back end. And you're able to see analytics on it. You're able to see how many people have searched your business, how many people have been to your business in the last 30 days. You're able to run promotions on there that you can blast out, so people that have connected with you on Google can see that. You're able to put in certain AdWords to get more customer retention. It's a really good app to use, Google My Business. And you're able just to see a lot more on the back end analytics side of it, okay? And then there's a few other smaller ones that I use. There's Dropbox, I have Google Docs, and then I have My Card, which is really cool. Right now, maybe not as amazing, but it's a e-card that you can send out when you meet people like at networking events. So a lot of times for me, I'll be like maybe on the go and I'll decide to pop up at a networking event and not have any business cards. I'm always just like, hey, let me shoot you my e-card. So it's a really good, that's a really good app to use too. So, all right, thanks for that. That was a good question too. All right. So this one says, can I run more effective ads right now? So I would definitely say yes to that. That's something else we also addressed on the webinar Saturday, is that right now ad costs are down, but the percentage of ads that people are seeing are up, so which is awesome. So basically more people are seeing your ads at a lower price, which is what everybody wants. Mainly because right now, obviously, so many of us are working from home or in a home environment or doing e-learning with school, online shopping. I mean, there's just so much more that we're doing now than a month ago online. So taking advantage of that as far as doing ads for your business, I think is something that you should do. Even if it's just for a couple weeks to kind of test it out and try and see what kind of feedback you get. But I do always tell people my biggest advice is if you don't know how to run ads or you're not familiar with running ads, don't do it. You know, hire somebody to do it for you. Hire somebody to consult with you on doing your ads, because if you don't, you're kind of just like throwing money away. And it gets frustrating because after a while you're like, God, I spent $200 on this, or I spent $150 on this, and I didn't get any feedback or anything. So maybe you're not exactly sure what you're looking for. So always kind of, if you're doing ads, I think it's important to have somebody on your team or have somebody that you can call and reach out to who is familiar with doing ads and can kind of guide you in the right way on how to spend your money, okay? All right. Our next question says, is now a good time to update my logo, my slogan, etc.? Okay, so that's another good question, because I do think right now would be a good time for you to kind of do that. While we are kind of this unknown, uncharted water per se, that's a good time for you to go in and you can, tweak some things on your logo. You can let people know, hey, we're updating this. Did you have any input on it? Maybe get people involved in it in some way. That's a really good way, again, to kind of help build brand and customer retention. If they feel involved, they're going to want to do more, and they're also going to frequent you more, whatever your business is. I know I have small business owners too probably watching, and those people, that is the time now to really get them involved in what's going on with you and your business. So yeah, I think definitely would now be a good time if you wanted to play around and kind of get a logo made or get a new slogan out for your business and kind of test it out and see how it's working for you. And if you feel like you're not getting the best return on it or the best feedback, then obviously you're able to make changes. So, all right, let's check and see if we got any questions in, guys. If y'all do, please send your questions to me. I would love to answer any marketing questions you have. All right, we got one that says, how do you identify your market? Okay, so that's good. So it all just depends kind of what type of business you're in. If you're doing a small business, you're first gonna want to find out the area that you're in. I would say roughly go 15 to 20 miles out, and you kind of see, what does that area cater to? What kind of businesses are in that area? What kind of feedback are they getting online? Okay, And now that you're able to establish that, then you can say, okay, here is where my needs come in this market. I think that's the biggest thing is you have to have a need. There has to be a need for your business in the market, okay? Especially if you're focusing or concentrating in a specific area. So if it was me doing that, I would identify my market that way, just kind of seeing what's in that area, what needs have been met and what hasn't, and how I can help that out, okay? All right, let's see if we got any more comments. That might be it. Do we get any more questions? No? Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in today on Marketing Monday with me, and I'll be back next Monday. So if you think of any marketing questions between now and then, please feel free to DM them to me on my business page, 3M Marketing and Acquisitions. Feel free to shoot me an email. My email is marcus@3mmarketingllc.com, or even shoot me a text message. My phone number is 470-207-1685, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.